The narrative is that Georgia is talentless, the least talented team Kirby Smart has ever had. And I got the receipts to try to show you next. Locked on Bulldogs.
You are Locked on Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Locked on Bulldogs, part of Locked on Podcast Network, your team every single day. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. More on Game Time. Download the Game Time app today. Get in the game. Get in Game Time. I am Clint, your ever-loving fan of Georgia Bulldogs, the place that you come every single day for insight, information, and understanding of why Georgia Bulldogs are still the best team in the land, even though others disagree. Thanks for the first-time listeners, the everydayers, and the first listeners, those who wake up in the morning and say, I got to get this in my system right now. We appreciate you so very much. Thank you for being here. Today's episode, I'm going to talk about the talentless roster that Georgia has. A lot of people are saying that Georgia has been void of the talent that we are so accustomed to. Kirby Smart has lost his grip and now can't cheat like he did before. We were stacking 5-star guys everywhere. NIL has really come for the villain that is Kirby. And I'm not saying like the evaluation of the industry saying that Georgia is talentless. I'm going to show you why they think that is. And then I'm going to go pull up receipts on how wrong they have been. So I want to encourage you. This is the narrative that is being pushed. Georgia is in the outside the top 5 in everybody's preseason rankings. We can't hold on to talent. There's no depth. There's nobody coming up. Daniel and I on this podcast have said our defense might be the best, the third best defense, because the other two are historic, that Kirby Smart has ever had. And it could challenge one of those 2 years, 21 and 22, because we have the talent on defense. This defense is going to be monstrous this year. I'm going to go through some of those receipts and actually show you why these industry leaders have no understanding. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to show you in the second segment where they've gotten it wrong. And then in the third segment, I'm going to say who has it best, who apparently this year's a little sneak peek, Ole Miss. Ole Miss last year had all these preseason top 100 guys. Texas, all these preseason top 100 guys amounted to playoff run for one of those teams. I'm going to talk about who has it best this year according to industry leaders. And then I'm just going to try to tell you, don't listen to the noise. Don't listen to the noise. We can pull up what people's predictive things were last year, pull it in and say, what are we doing? So let's get into it. I'm going to talk about the top 100 players according to On3. On3 has come out with their top 100 players for the 2025 season. And here's the list. Second segment, I'm going to come back and show you last year's receipts of what On3 did last year with their top 100. And then third, say who had it best so far and why you shouldn't listen to them, because wow, it's bad. Let me go through the list of, I'm going to give you the top 10 that On3 has, and then I'm going to go down and hit some highlights. And you're going to be shocked because I'm going to give you the highlights of where Georgia players are at in this top 100 list. Number 1, Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State. Look, he would have been one of the top 3 picks in this year's draft. Okay, so he's unreal. I have no problem with that. Dylan Stewart, South Carolina, edge. Number 2, I have no problem with this. Daniel and I played a game a couple months ago. If we could swap one SEC player on our team, it would be Dylan Smith for me. He's unbelievably good. South Carolina's got one of the best over there. Caleb Downs comes in number 3, Ohio State safety. Number 4, Colin Simmons, Texas edge. Number 5, Sam Levitt, Arizona State. That's shocking to me. That's shocking. They called him Bo Nix plus. Number 6, Ryan Williams, Alabama. No problem for me. Number 7, Leonard Moore, Notre Dame cornerback. 8, Lenora Sellers. This is who I'd have as the number 1 quarterback if I was making this list. Number 9, Anthony Hill Jr., Texas. Although he got absolutely mollywopped against Georgia. And number 10, everybody's Heisman favorite, crown him the MVP of every playoff game, Arch Manning over at Texas. Some other highlights, DJ Lagway comes in at 12. Garrett Nussmeier, number 14. He'd be my second quarterback if I was making this list. A couple of other interesting names. Number 17, Jermod McCoy, Tennessee, comes in at 17, cornerback over there. Number 22, Drew Allard, Penn State quarterback, far too high. What are we doing with our lives? Number 25, Carson Beck, quarterback. Number 4, quarterback on this list, which is, again, absurd to me. Keep going down. You're going to see some other interesting name. Cade Klubnik, number 33. Whit Weeks, number 37, LSU. I'd have him higher. I watched him play. He's really good. Ryan Wingo, Texas, number 45. That's interesting as well. A little low for me. I'm still in the 50s, and you've noticed I haven't said a Georgia name. If you've been keeping track, I have not uttered a single Georgia player's name. Yep, I'll keep going here. We have interesting. Duke makes top 20 or top 65. Terry Moore, safety out of Duke. John, look, I don't know what Oklahoma is going to be, but John Mateer, it could be very, very good in that offense. I'm not doubting that. 65 seems about right to me for what they're doing over there, truth be told. Tyreek Sapp, edge, Florida, 75. No Georgia players still. Wait for it. Eric Singleton Jr., 77, wide receiver, Auburn. That needs to be sky high higher. He's going to have a great year. I hate to say it. He's going to have a great year. That offense, what he's doing. Eugene Wilson, the third Florida wide receiver, 81. No Georgia player still. Nico Iamaleava comes in at 83, UCLA. What are we doing with our lives? Goes all the way down till finally at 91, CJ Allen, Georgia is listed. 91. And then at 96, Kristen Miller, interior defensive lineman for Georgia. Georgia has 2 players in the top 100, according to On3 Sports, who I have to ask how you came. I need to know your metrics. Was this like you get like 100 little colored ping pong balls and you get voting on each, and the red ones are more important than the green ones, and you compile that? And I have no idea how you did this. It's wild to me because 91 and 96 for 2 Georgia players that I think CJ Allen is not the best linebacker on this team. He's rated high. And I think Daniel thinks Hall is going to be better than Kristen Miller this year. And he's not even on this list. And Kristen Miller is 2 very, very premium positions, a linebacker and an interior defensive lineman, not the best on Georgia. They're not. CJ Allen, very good linebacker. Kristen Miller, very good defensive lineman. Very excited to have him here. They're not the best of their positions on the team that's there. And we have no offensive players. We have not nary a one offensive player. I'm going to talk last year. We had many inside the top 50. One of them, 50. Ernest Green was 50th in last year's list. I'm going to get to that in the second segment. He's nowhere to be seen. You tell me Gunnar Stockton isn't better than some of these guys? You're telling me wide receiver is Branch? He was good last year. He's not good enough this year. You're telling me Nate Frazier? I get it. There's a couple running backs that are very, very good on this list that I didn't list out. But Isaac Brown, Louisville, good running back. Really? I don't think Nate Frazier is less than he. Carson Beck. He was undraftable. He came back because he was undraftable. Couldn't have gotten into doing anything. And he goes to Miami, and now he's 25th, top quarter of a percentage. First round, Carson Beck. I have lots of questions. These seem ludicrous to me. They seem out of bounds. They seem like, what are we doing with our lives? And Georgia has 2 in the top 100, in which we think this is a talent rich, because On3 has not taken into consideration the top 5 recruiting classes. Like, talent just doesn't leave that way. And yes, we've had people leave, but those people that have left are not on this list. That's interesting to me. So the people that left weren't valued enough to be on this list, and the people that stayed were rated in the top 3 at their positions for 5-6 years straight by Kirby Smart, and none of them make the top 100 list. Things are crazy. The speculation game runs rampant. I'm going to tell you after this. I'm going to come back. I'm going to walk you through the list from last year I'm going to give you their rankings and how dead wrong they were on a couple of these guys. I asked other Locked On hosts what they thought, and they gave me their answers. We're going to come back after this. I'm going to let you know what they think. And it can On3 be trusted with any evaluation of talent? And does Georgia really have no talent? But first, these. And these are, in fact, game time. There's nothing like the NBA playoffs, the intensity buzzer beaters, fans losing their ever-loving mind. It's kind of an atmosphere that you love to experience live. And this year's matchups are already delivering. If you want in, Game Time makes it easy to get seats, even the biggest playoff games. Killer last-minute deals, panoramic seat views, and no surprise fees is what I love most about them. Game Time is a total game changer. Look into the app. Get into it, because right now you can watch Ant-Man continue his ascent on into the playoff. Us Georgia fans love that. I want to watch Timberwolves action, and if he's coming to a town near me, if he's going to get into that, I want in, and I can do it last minute. I can hop on a plane. I can get over there. 60% off with the zone deals. Exact view before I buy, no surprises, and it's Game Time guarantee. You know exactly what you're going to get the best deal. If you find a better price, same row section, they'll give you a credit of 110% of the difference. It's fantastic. You'll find great seats for as low as $100, thanks to exclusive discounts, as NFL tickets are just as easy. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONCollege, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONCollege, $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. All right, we're coming back. I gave you the list of top 100 players according to On3 for what they think is a talentless Georgia team. I mean, again, I hate to keep hitting it over and over and over, but it's just wild to me that they believe that there is nobody good in the world on Georgia in the top 50, the top 75. Like, it's curious to me. That's all I'm saying. It's curious to me that that's the case. How can we honestly assess Kirby Smart recruiting at such a high level for so long and him not be able to have those players? Okay, I digress. All right. I want to give you the top 100 from last year. This is last year's 2024, the top 100 according to On3. And I want to start off right off the bat. Number one, James Pierce, edge, Tennessee. Was he the number one player in college football? Nope. Was he a top 10 player? Maybe. Top 15? Okay. Yeah. I'm fine with that. Luther Burden was number 2, wide receiver, Missouri. He was fantastic, but he didn't have the impact. Kelvin Banks, number 3. Kelvin Banks got, again, mollywopped by 2 Georgia players up and down the field. Number 4, Carson Beck, 4 to 25. You did number 4 based on very little data. 5, Will Campbell, LSU. Yep, fine with that. 6, Mason Graham, D-line, Michigan. Well, NFL training camps seem to think that that's not great. Number 7, Deion Walker, Kentucky. Oh no, we're getting out of bounds all of a sudden. It's getting crazy. 12, Quinn Ewers. This is all last year's list. I give you this year in first segment, last year's list. 13, Jackson Dart. Turns out he should have been higher than Quinn Ewers. Wyatt Millum, West Virginia, offensive lineman. Okay, don't think so. That doesn't look great. Harold Perkins, LSU, number 17. Y'all, he is not the player that everybody thinks. He should have been very, very good. He's not. He's not good. I mean, Abdul Carter was number 19 on this list. He should have been number 2 on this list. Maybe number 1 on this list. I have no problem with that. Caleb Downs, number 22, no problem. Walter Nolan. Shadur Sanders, 26. I mean, you go up and down this. Trey Harris, wide receiver, Ole Miss. Here's what the SEC Locked On hosts are saying about this, and these are the words that I asked them. I said, "Hey, somebody give me your thoughts on this." And this is what happens. I'll give you some of the Alabama love. Jalen Milroe was down at 33 in last year's draft, and he says maybe the most puzzling player in college football. When he was good, he was Heisman-like. When he was bad, you wondered how he even made a second string. His good is outweighed by his bad by a good margin. Playoff championship, SEC champ. He beat Georgia both times, 4 rushing times versus LSU twice. He was Jekyll and Hyde, number 33. You can't have a number 33 be Jekyll and Hyde. He wasn't worth number 33. That was wrong. Tyler Booker, same, Alabama, worthy of the hype, 12th pick in the draft, not an all-time great, but solid, true leader. Okay, great. He was rated a little lower in last year's time. He should have been rated higher. Great. Lawson, Alabama, would have been gone without injury this year. Really good player, definitely worthy of the ranking in last year's draft. Proctor for Alabama, first rounder for sure, probably needs to mature, but skill, size, talent, probably ranked too low on that list. Okay. That's Alabama's players. Here's Texas players. Last year's list. Kelvin Banks, All-American, Outland Trophy, Lombardi winning, top 10 pick. Okay, fine. Got mollywopped. I don't know how to keep saying this over. Just come on. Quinn Ewers, inconsistent, fell to the 7th round. He was the number. He was one of the second best quarterback said to be last year. Fell to the 7th round. That's Carson Beck vibes. Isaiah Bond, solid season, didn't live up the hype, off-field issues, undrafted. He was ranked insanely high last year. Trey Moore, bad first half, great second half, back for another year. Okay. That's Texas's players. These are the rankings of where they were. Again, I gave you a few of them. Kelvin Banks, Texas. Carson Beck, so high. Harold Perkins wasn't it. Jalen Milroe, number 33. Tyler Booker, number 41. Ernest Green, 50th. I already told you that in the first segment. Isaiah Bond, 54, to undrafted, to not having that big of an impact. Garrett Nussmeier, 82. He was one of the better quarterbacks in the SEC last year. Juice Williams, 91, Ole Miss, and Mykel Williams, edge, 97. Mykel went from 97 to being one of the best picks in the draft. Injured plague season, had the impact when needed him the most in the biggest stage at the biggest times. Here's what I'm trying to say, and here's what I'm trying to get at. I can go down the list again of other players that On3 said and where they rank so high, and it's absolute hypothetical nonsense. They're not taking any rankings 5-4 star. They're just looking at what do I think he should be. That Carson Beck last year, number 8, that's what I think he should be. We all fell in love with it too. We said the same thing. He wasn't anywhere near it because the productivity wasn't there. The understanding wasn't there. The control of the offense wasn't there. And the head wasn't there. He goes on elsewhere. He's still top 0.25% talent in the league. I don't buy it. I don't see it. They whiffed on a majority of their lists last year, and everybody's saying Georgia's talent lists. Last year, I ran through Texas and Ole Miss. Texas and Ole Miss had the most players on the top 100 list from the SEC. I mean, Alabama was close, but Texas, Ole Miss, sure. Texas this year, you want to go by that metric again? Oh my gosh, do they have some players on this list? Oh my word. Are people in love? Just in love with Texas this year? I mean, Quinn Ewers kept the job away from the number 2 quarterback, Lenore Sellers. I'm sorry, number 3, Sam Levitt at number 5. What are we doing? 2 South Carolina players in the top 10? I mean, I can't really fault them because those 2 players are really good. But Texas is just littered. Notre Dame is littered on this list. I think Notre Dame's going to be good again. I really do. Are they going to be a top 3 team? Questionable. Really, really, really questionable. Texas has so much hype and so much. Have they recruited well? Sort of. Have they developed well? Sort of. Have they not been able to play in the biggest games on the biggest stages with the biggest teams? Yeah, that's been true. Sometimes when you want something to be true bad enough, you will tell yourself it's true. Doesn't make it so. And this is what Texas is doing right now. Old Miss last year, that's why I say Lane Kiffin's in a real pinch this year. He's got to perform because last year he had the most talent rich, according to the list. According to everybody perceived this is the dude. He's so good. He's so great. He has the team, and it failed him. Miserably failed him. I'm going to come back after this. I'm going to let you know, are we truly talentless? Who of Georgia would be top 100 if I was making this list? I'm going to tell you that next. Locked On Bulldogs. And these are, in fact, Wayfair. Wayfair is fantastic. Dan and I use them all the time, and you should too, because the days are getting longer, the weather is warming up, and people are spending more time outside. It's a perfect time to refresh your outdoor space. Whether you're working with a big backyard or small balcony, Wayfair has everything you need to make it feel just more like you. Massive selection of outdoor essentials makes it easy to transform any space into your ideal summer setup. Look, I love being outside. I got a new patio. I got a new table. I got a new chairs, and they all came from Wayfair. And guess what? Delivery is free, hassle-free, big stuff. I had a big old table, got a couch from them. Everything comes, whether you're entertaining guests or just relaxing solo. Wayfair is here to help you unwind. Shop a huge selection of outdoor furniture online this summer. Get outside with Wayfair. Head to wayfair.com right now. That's wayfair.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. All right, we're back. Loyal third segment listeners, we appreciate you. I'm giving you the top 100 list according to On3 that they said, here's this year's most talent-rich pool of teams, and it's Notre Dame, it's Ohio State, and it's Texas. Ohio State lost a lot of talent. They have a lot coming back. So, look, Ohio State has a bunch of talent that wasn't listed on the top 100 that I would list. Trayvon Henderson last year was, I think, outside the top 65. He should have been in the top 10 because he was paramount to their success. Paramount. They won with an incredible running game and incredible trench warfare on defense. Go figure. Notre Dame, the same thing. Notre Dame has some dudes and they're coming back, but they lost a few guys as well. Yet to be seen if they can keep that standard up with Marcus Freeman. I personally think they can, but I'm not ready to absolutely say yes to them as of yet. Who would I rank in the top 100 if I was making this list? Now, it's really important because we can't just say Gunnar Stockton should be in the top 100. Well, I think he should be based upon who else is in. But if I was making a top 100 list, I'm not putting Gunnar Stockton in quite yet. I think he's good. I think he's capable. I think he's going to do just fine for us. However, I'm not ready to cement him in the top 100 talent pool of college football quite yet. Am I ready to put any one of our offensive linemen? No, I don't know yet. That's yet to be determined. Here's where I would start putting people in the top 100 on the offensive side. Nate freaking Frazier. He's a top 100 talent in college football. There is no doubt about it. Look at the Heisman odds. Just start there. He's going to have a great season. Fully prepared for him to have a great season. Nate Frazier makes my top 100. Number two, why is Noah Thomas not listed in the top 100 based upon his body of work, where he's at, the offense he's in now, and the talent that he has around him? I would put him in the top 100. It'd be him or Branch for me. One of those two. One of our wide receivers is in the top 100. Nate Frazier in the top 100. And I have no problem stating so. Monroe Freeling and Ernest Green do not get to be in the top anything list right now. Go show me something. All right. That's on offense. On defense, here's where it gets really wild. Really wild. You're telling me KJ Bolden is not top 100? He would be the first name I give when I'm thinking of Georgia. Honestly, first name I give when I'm thinking of top 100 players in college football, nominating committee from Georgia, I go straight to KJ Bolden. If you want to get mad at me because we don't have, Nate Frazier on there, okay, fine. I can swallow that. KJ Bolden was a consensus 5-star pick, started as a freshman, not only held his own, but proved his own. And by the end of the season was one of our better runs. That game against Notre Dame, he played very, very well. SEC championship, very, very well. Against Texas, insanely well. KJ Bolden for me would be up there as an absolute need to be in there. Number 2, Jordan Hall. That y'all sleeping on him. Keep sleeping. One of the best defensive linemen, not not in his state, not in his in the entire nation when he decided to come to Georgia. It was a huge get for Kirby Smart. People forget he's been dealing with lower leg injuries for a very, very long time. I get it. All of last year, it seemed that he couldn't get it together. He was not on stable footing, couldn't put a lot of pressure to plant and to move and to cut. And when you're that athletic of a guy, the smallest little thing is going to be in problem. So I have no idea. Jordan Hall, come on. Why isn't he in the top 100? And then CJ Allen, thank you for being number 91, 96, Kristen Miller. We've already listed them. So I told you that I had other dogs ahead of them. They would be part of my nominating committee. CJ Allen would be in my nomination to present to the honorable on 3 top 100 list. But Raylan Wilson's the better linebacker. Dog fans, am I wrong? How crazy am I? Am I a moron? Am I stupid? I don't think I am. I think Raylan Wilson is the more talented, better linebacker who's going to absolutely wreak havoc this year. Gave you KJ Bolden. I gave you Raylan Wilson, CJ Allen, Kristen Miller, Jordan Hall, Nate Frazier, and then a combination Branch or Noah Thomas. But honestly, the biggest one for me, and this is why people just, it's the same people that said Jalen Walker was not that good, that didn't deserve the awards, didn't deserve to be drafted where he was. The same people that say that are the same people who don't know Chris Cole. Chris Cole is not going to be listed by anybody as a, quote, starter on Georgia's defense. Chris Cole is not going to be known by a lot of people around college football because he doesn't have the notoriety that somebody like Perkins from LSU does. Remember when he was supposed to be SEC sack leader, take it all on? Chris Cole would be probably my third name that I gave. And I was saving it to the end because this just proves people don't watch games. Like we at Locked On Bulldogs literally try to soak in every single game imaginable. We really, really do. How is Chris Cole, if you look across college landscape, when you see what he did, and maybe it's because you didn't see him, again, with the statistics that you think, quote, starting, quote, inside, quote, outside linebacker. Chris Cole is a ball player who gets on the field and does work. All the coaches in the NFL recognize guys like him. They really do. It's the same people that took Nolan Smith because he was going to be a world beater, and they knew it, and they didn't have to worry about the 3 sacks. Same guys that took Dan Jackson because they knew he's just a football player. Chris Cole is a football player who's going to be there. He'd be no one's talking about him, and I don't fault On 3 for not doing it because I don't think On 3 really, really, really likes to watch football. I think they like to get ad revenue from college football, is what I think. But they don't like watching college football because if you like watching college football, Chris Cole is a dude that you love watching. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. We'll be back next week talking about them dogs. We'll see you guys then.